Good afternoon, friends. Well, it was a long night until I went to bed. Missed my little pup last night, not having him here to do our numerous nightly walks to go to the bathroom and those kind of things. But I know that they had a big event today. The pound did, the shelter did, and I know he'll get adopted out extremely quick because he's that kind of dog, that kind of personality. Some family will get him for sure. So I was able to find peace and still able to find peace with that. But it hurting so bad today from the fall itself. It's not really hurting, just feel like I need to go take a bath in a oil tub with motor oil, and the nerve damage is still bad. I still feel like I got my finger in a wall socket on my left side. But last night I tried to do some readings, and it was interesting that, when I get messages, and those of you that are mediums and psychic mediums, you know that when we get a message, sometimes it's not crystal clear. It comes maybe cryptic, or it comes in lots of symbols and things that we don't understand. And for me, the thing is when I'm giving you a reading, I'll do my best to interpret it. But at the end of the day, it's meant for you to interpret it. The message is yours. I am strictly the secretary for them. And they don't like when I say it like that, but it's the truth. I am simply taking notes of what they're telling me. I give you the notes, the reading, according to how it's given to me, word for word how it's given to me. So last night when I'm doing readings, I did 6 or 7 readings because I couldn't do as many last night because I just couldn't focus because I was so messed up with stiffness and soreness and all. But I felt I was doing a disservice. Not to mention, because of what I'm getting at here, it was really getting to be frustrating because of the 6 or 7 I did, probably half of them, they weren't getting it. They were, one of them was really argumentative, and I don't agree with what you're saying. Well, that's fine. I am not all knowing. I'm not God. I'm not the higher power. So I'm quick to tell you that, when things when I'm not tickling your ear and telling you what you want to hear, or you can't accept the message that's coming through, and I'm quick to tell you that I'm not all knowing, especially when you start kind of coming across as, argumentative and get nasty, because I'm just not going to tolerate that, and nobody should have to tolerate that kind of behavior. So half of them last night were really having trouble accepting the message, and not to mention what I was saying was with the cryptic and the visuals that I'm getting, images that I'm getting are just really kind of out there. So I'm wondering, I laid in the bed afterwards when I finally quit, and I'm like, why is it that I was getting these like weird, images like that? Why is that? And then I heard it just as clear as day. It's like, well, maybe that's because that's the kind of person they are. Maybe that's the way that they kind of are meant to get the message. Maybe those images might not mean anything to them now, but it means something in a day or two when they think about it, and those kind of things. So it made sense. And look, when I do a reading for you outside of the website there, I'll tell you, when I send you the reading, I tell you, go into a quiet place in your house where you won't be disturbed. Listen to it with headphones. Have you a pen, paper, pencil, and take notes. It may not make sense today, but it may make sense in a day or two, a week or two, maybe a month. But it's meant for you. Somehow, some way, it's meant for you. It may not make any sense, but what comes up with the nonsense that you're not getting, maybe something comes up in your line of thinking, trying to interpret that message, that triggered, oh, well, that's a different perspective there. I can see that. So if the message didn't come out wrong, you wouldn't have thought about that to get you to the point that you got the message you were ultimately meant to get. Some people are just meant to get messages that way, I think. But on the website, it's different. I mean, they can go back and look at the message for sure. But a lot of them, I find, they want their ears tickled. You know, why is Bob not talking to me? Why haven't I heard from Bob for a month? Well, I'm getting that Bob's sneaking around. Bob is, I'm seeing a lot of like spy movies. I'm seeing a lot of stuff that's like in shadow. Everything I'm seeing in this image and this picture movie that's playing out in my head is black and white. It's all, the people are shadow figures, like, especially the male. He's really, really dark, and you're black and white, but this guy is solid black, and he's like staying away from you because it's like you're holding a crystal ball. I mean, just weird stuff comes through like that. But because it's not telling her why Bob exactly, it's not spelling out, well, Bob is seeing Sally, and that, they get mad. They don't accept it. So it got me to thinking last night, why is it we have such trouble accepting messages? When we ask for a message, why is it that we have such trouble getting it? First and foremost, it's not tickling our ear. It's not telling us what we want to hear. That's the biggest reason right there. Second, I think is that we can't see it playing out that way. We can't see it happening the way that we have in our heads. It's not that we don't accept it, it's just that we have trouble seeing it play out that way. Third, I think, is that we've trusted messages before and they just didn't happen, period. Or we thought they didn't happen, period. We were so set in our mind that it was going to happen this way, and it didn't. So we built up like this like shield to where we can't accept the message at all, period. Well, I don't know why I even bothered to ask for a message, because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So what do we do when we start feeling like this? First and foremost, we have to accept the message for what it is. It's a message. It's advice. It's guidance. You're not going to get, every time you ask for a message, decisive, boom, you're supposed to walk 10 paces and turn to the left and then turn counterclockwise, just a half a dial and take a step and a half. You don't get, I can't think in 6 years of any messages I've ever gotten that's like that precise, clear cut. So I don't believe you get those kind of things. There's steps, there's processes, there's things that has to happen along with other things in order for you to ultimately get the message, We have to accept what comes through, no matter what it is, so it's not what you want to hear. Maybe it's best you finally hear it, that you get it. Maybe you have trouble accepting it from the people around you because you've got your own, set of things going on there. Oh, well, they don't like so-and-so. That's why they saying that. No, maybe they saw so-and-so physically out with somebody and, they've got a legitimate reason, but you can't accept that. So you get a message from those around you in spirit. Somebody who does not know you, period, is giving you this message, and they're giving you details about your life, about you. They don't know you from Adam, And I think that's when it's a little easier, should be a little easier to accept the message, Take it at face value for what it is. So it's not what you want to hear. Is that a bad thing? In the end, is that really a bad thing? I have always, myself, I suffer with this. I have such, especially as of, March of this year, I've had extreme amounts of difficulty accepting messages. I don't see it with my physical eyes happening this way. I can't see it. And even with all that I know about spirit, and I don't know everything, and I'm not claiming to, I never will. All that I know about what I can do, I don't know everything I can do. I don't even pretend to know. I'm only just discovering new things even that I can do that I was unaware of. And with all that, it's still very difficult for me to accept what is coming through. So I started to just kind of say, you know what? I'm going to have to start trusting it. I'm going to have to start trusting it. I have a real problem with it feels too good to be true. You know, everything in the physical eyes is just, it's not happening that way. I don't see it happening that way. I can't see it happening that way. Well, why is that? I'm up here. I'm thinking it. I'm not here feeling it. When I got this revelation the other day about feeling, that has opened up like this huge double doors for me. Because when you get a message and you automatically start overthinking it, you read into it more than you're supposed to. You fail to feel the message. You fail to feel what the message is trying to give you. And I totally, last night when I was laying there really thinking about all this stuff, thinking again, you know, and I'm like, I need to start really feeling the messages when they come across. So I can't see things happening in the physical. I don't see it happening out that way. How you feel about it in here? Okay. That is different. I started thinking kind of about the last few messages I've got within the past couple days on my current situation. And this is what I want you to do if you're having these issues. I want you to think back to, say, the current messages you've gotten within the past few days. And maybe they feel off to you. You can't see it with your physical eyes happening that way. Your mind is not allowing you to see it happen that way. Your ego is not letting you accept it. Feel into it. Feel into it. Don't think into it, but feel into it. How does that message make you feel? How does that message, what feelings does that message really bring up? Do you feel happy? Do you feel sad? Do you feel concern? Do you feel fear, excitement, joy, peace, calm? What do you feel? And I have a hard time as well with the feeling of things, because like I said before my twin flame left, she was, I mean, just for the last part of it was like beating me over the head with you can't feel. But then when those messages came the other night about feeling, and the divine's like, look, you got to understand that was a different circumstance. So I tried to look at that message and say, okay, separate the two with feelings. And when I've been able to do that, get out of my head, because you got to get out of your head. When I'm able to get out of my head and really been able to reach into those past messages just the past couple of days, it'll click here then. Okay, it makes sense. I can see now where that's, yeah, I can feel that taking place. I can feel that happening. I can feel that being the outcome. I can feel this versus thinking it. When you get out of your head on so much stuff and you get here, you get in your gut feeling, perspective changes. So for those of you that are getting messages and you're just having that tough time accepting them, it just doesn't make sense, I want you to go from the heart with it. Separate your mind. When you're listening to a message, you get a message from a medium, you get a message of your own, sit down in a quiet spot and really don't think into it, feel into it. Oh, the medium said, or I keep seeing squirrels everywhere. What do I feel about the squirrel? I looked up the meaning. How do I feel about that? What does that squirrel make me feel when I think about a squirrel? How do I feel? Try that and see if that helps you out, because I'm telling you, when you're able to get to the heart space of things, it changes things up for you.